First, looking at the weekly chart, we can see that we are fairly extended to the upside, but still last week is within previous week's range, so quite tight relatively. We are near upper extreme, so potential to the upside is there. On the daily we are still within this balance, so it is also visible on market profile chart. Getting rejected once again from the lows. Now we are battling around the highs, and it looks like we are going to attempt to break them today if nothing unusual happens. Looking at options ranges, we have some room to the upside and to the downside, around 40 points higher and around 60 lower. If I look at the monthlies, we have even more room, around 77 points or so. And for the rest of the week, for today, it's Wednesday's expiration, so still some room left to the upside. 34, 44, 39, potentially lower range if we consider where we going to open. I'm not expecting this to be broken today, but of course we'll see. And let's think of a game plan for today. So for now we have weak low on the balance low and poor high on balance high. We are within this tight range. We had yesterday value developing near the lows, and then we broke to the upside, and we didn't establish value in the later part of the day. So given that overnight is trading so tightly, this is our temporary value range, and we'll see in which direction we are going to break. This is going to be telling about how the day can develop further on. I think that if we dip lower, we are going to fight for this range again. So this is going to be important. Roughly 96 to 04, and until we can fairly break below 96, I think that mean reversion longs are in play. So first scenario, given overnight is balanced, we can look for opportunities either to break from overnight range or and continue, or break and fail. So first let's assume correction of yesterday's a little bit too extended trading, and if we can get lower and then maybe exhaust first around this reference. It is value area high and an inflection point from yesterday and from previous days, 44.02, give or take, or lower 96. I'd like to see rejection and stronger move to the upside. Then I'd like to buy a pullback from this area. And I don't really like to see a strong move like we've seen yesterday. I'd rather see some trading higher, then maybe attempt lower, get back higher. some value established above overnight lows to get some small flush lower and back to the middle. Second scenario would be I'm not sure if we make a strong move to the downside. I should enter short. So the second one is going to be if the initial move is strong, we break the lows with conviction, with building volume, and with speed, then try to enter short from overnight lows and get back at least to test this 96 area, and then to test point of control, to close the singles, of course, and so on, and get back to point of control and potentially to break the lows. This could be a bigger trade. And other scenarios are mirror image of those. So if we can break above overnight high, test, check, see what's above, and fail quite strongly, then I'd like to short to get back to the middle. If we start building some volume higher and some acceptance, we don't see open, or we just test lower and then go up through the open, never to see it again. If we start building second TPO above overnight highs, then I'd like to enter along to test all-time highs. So those are basic scenarios for today. Nothing spectacular, just normal opportunities. I hope I can find a trade today. Yesterday I caught a short in a period early on, and I held it. I didn't get my main take profit. I was too greedy. I thought that we can test the lows to the tick, and I was dick for a tick, so I didn't gain as much as I would. And later on to the upside, I thought that we might continue higher if we break above overnight highs, but I just couldn't put my risk on. I wasn't sure where to exit if I was wrong. Maybe stopping one-time framing would be my exit, but I didn't. This would be also potentially nice trade to the upside, because at this point we had so many shorts piling on from all this time we've spent here. Many people were counting on the break, and after we traded through the open, through early days high, through overnight highs and into the singles, maybe closing the singles was the biggest tell that we're going to get higher, but here and J period, J low, I think should be a trade. So I did miss one, if not two, quite good opportunities. There was some slight opportunity to get short around previous day's highs, because we were fairly extended, and we are not making outside days that often. So I was, especially around the all-time highs, I thought that those shorts that got squeezed here, it wasn't a real buying, so the fuel would stop and we seen that it was getting a little bit weaker. There was an opportunity to get short around yesterday's highs, but really late in the days, and it didn't provide that much profit because we didn't trade that lower, so maybe a coin flip trade in the end. For today we can expect wider range as well, so maybe look below and fail scenario would provide breaking other extreme of the overnights, especially since the overnight is only 9.5 points. It's easily to be doubled if not tripled.